Oh, fatties. I shouldn't say that. Maybe it was the sand that made them fat. They do have some sort of glowing thing on their stomach after all. Oh man, you get to kill that guy. Come at me, bros. See, generally the blue ones don't like vaults. That's what we have the sword for, the tree for. Damn it. I need to actually hit. I gotta just go to the wall instead. It's too far away. Playing it smart. There we go. So, oh, we got a sand tank over here. Why not use that? Whoops. Doing a little stabbing. In the original Prince of Persia, 1989, the combat system was obviously pretty simple. You basically you were standing in front of someone, and then you could either strike or you could block, and then of course you could move back and forth. Generally, you ended up doing these sort of chains of like strike, block, strike, block, strike, block, strike, block, until which you could keep up going longer than the enemy. Like eventually they would miss one block. I think I mentioned before that me and my brother played at the same time, quote unquote, which was basically, okay, ouch, which was basically me doing the walking and the blocking and he was mashing shift to attack. So that sort of worked out. I think it's safe to say that this is one of my favorite series as a whole. I mean, I haven't played a lot. Like, there's at least 2 of them I haven't finished, and that's not even counting the original Prince of Persia 2, The Shadow and Flame, and of course Prince of Persia 3D, which is supposed to suck. But I'd say Two Thrones, Sands of Time, and the original ones are all like some of my favorite games. Ouch. That should finally be it. Let's go sneak up, take that sand tank before we see the vision. Whoops. Farah.
Done. I'll start the story from here next time.
So we're still on the hunt for Farah. We're supposed to meet in the baths. Remember that vision we saw? Where like we were trying to pull her back up from the edge and it was a knife? It's weird, like the visions are starting to show us things that don't necessarily happen instantly now. See that? That was pro. We do the same thing around here. So when we started off, Vision was just like, here's a little bit of stuff that's gonna happen in, you know, the next area. But now we're seeing more things. The game kind of sneaks in like a few hints about the future storyline in these little visions after a while. Okay. This is where we saw Sarah run up before. I bet you she didn't have to deal with all these traps. Oh, come on. Not cool. I guess we'll be pressing that again. I'm pulling that back again. Oh, let's see. No, that's not quite it. Probably need to run on the side of the wall, I think. Oh yeah, because there's a saw blade. No, 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 oh, close. Ah, I'll jump to the side.
Farah? Are you there?
Ooh. Hello? Hello?
Here I am.
Oh. Oh.
I'll come to you.
Stay there. I'll come to you. In the 1989 version, you didn't really have characters as such. I assume most of you haven't played it. Some of you might have, but maybe you've tried it as a extra in this game, or you played it on iPhone or something. But I played it back on the on a 286 computer, and a friend of mine played it on a Macintosh. In fact, the game started with the prince. Just like, well, you got a cutscene. Basically, this Vizier dude, you know, counselor for the king or whatever, had, you know, much like Aladdin, basically told the princess that she had to marry him, and if you don't, she was gonna kill her, basically. And the only one that wanted, like, she was in love with, I don't remember exactly how the story went, the background story. Keep in mind, I was like 7 at the time, 6 maybe even, so my grasp of English was not 100% perfect, so to speak. But basically, the princess had 1 hour, sorry, to decide if she was gonna marry the evil Vizier or not. And the prince had been, well, not the prince, just, you were just a guy, that's the thing, you weren't even a prince. You're just a guy, and you'd been like thrown in prison. So the game starts, and you're in the first level, and you have nothing. You don't have a sword, you don't have anything, you're just in a platformer, and it's like a prison. And down at the bottom of the screen it says 60 minutes left. So, from the very start, the entire game is on like a timer. As you continue, and as you die and respawn and so on, the timer is constantly ticking down. The first level, basically, you drop down, and if you go to the right, there's a guard. And obviously there's nothing you can do about the guard because you don't have any weapon. So you keep going to the left, and eventually, after a bunch of platforming, you find a sword. And then with the sword, it's the only sword you get in the game, you don't really get any upgrades or anything. It's really that type of game. You then continue. There's 13 levels in the game. You start out at the prison, you move up to like a castle area, and then at the end you reach the tower. There's like different types of guards you faced basically. There were normal guards, there's the fat guard, there's like some cautious guards that blocked a lot, and then of course it was the evil Jafar the Vizier at the end. Again, it's called Jafar, much like Aladdin. And then there was this thing with your own reflection, which was kind of taken after the... Like, they repeated that sort of thing in Two Thrones eventually. And they did it really well actually. Two Thrones storyline is quite awesome actually. Anyway, you there were like not that many characters. That was basically you, the princess you had to save, and then there were bad guys. The entire game was based around, you know, puzzle platforming
Farah?
and a little bit of combat every now and then. I mean, games were simple back then. You didn't really need to have a lot.
I'll come to you.
I remember what my thought was most awesome with it was the way it was animated. It was animated like really well and really fluidly and stuff. That was because of a technique that Jordan Mechner used called rotoscoping. He basically recorded with a camera his brother dressed in white, jumping and climbing and stuff, and then he just used that technology, rotoscoping, which I honestly don't know exactly what it means, but he used that to have the animations in game. They made the animations seem really fluid and really well done. Anyway, I guess it'll be weird to play right now. I mean, there's an increased or better version on Xbox Live Arcade. They're called Prince of Persia Classic that you might want to try, I suppose. It's pretty good. Yeah, she takes half of my health with one of those. There we go, finally done. Alright, it's time to find... We're supposed to find Farah now. We don't really need to do the vision. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway, because you get to see cool glimpses, but... Let's try it. Smash a wall and follow her. And smash another wall and then more fighting, Christ. And then move a statue. More fire.
Done. I'll start the story from here next time.
Now where are you at, Farah? There's a sand tank there. Or sand thing.
Are you there?
I'm in here.
Where are you? Ugh, more monsters. We just killed like 50. I'm getting a lot of sand tanks now. Oops. There we go. This should have opened a door here. We need to run through, I guess. There she is.
Farah!
Monsters. But the door isn't open, so...
Help me.
I'd like to help you, but how the hell do we get to you? Well, just because I got that close to her, like the combat thing started, and now I'm gonna lose because Farah's dying. Brilliant. There's a lot of sand tanks though. Wait for me.
Farah! I'm coming!
There we are.
What took you so long?
Oh, waiting long.
What took you so long? I've been kinda busy.
You.
This game, it's the relationship with Farah that really makes it, I think. You notice that when you try to play, well, I don't want to phrase it that way, but like, you try to, I keep ragging on Warrior Within, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty good game, but the problem with Warrior Within, and it's part of the reason why I've never really considered you doing an LP on it or anything, is that when it came out, it's like they took everything that was awesome about Sands of Time and they improved the wrong things. Instead of emphasizing the stuff that was good, they just decided to improve the stuff that was bad. So people were telling them about Sands of Time, oh, the combat is a bit boring and dull and repetitive. They decided, oh yeah, we're gonna focus a lot on combat and stuff. And then they changed the tone, a lot of it. They made it like Godsmack the main theme, a lot of heavy metal and stuff, very dark and edgy and gothy. The prince had tattoos and like dark emo hair, quote unquote. Well, not emo as much as like gothic. Like it still had great platforming and the combat was much improved, but you went from having this cool adventure and like character building for the prince and his relationship with Farah and their dialogue back and forth, to instead having, you know, the prince being all dark and angry, running around in his and just killing everything in sight. Like the first female character you see is wearing a metal thong and a tiny metal bikini, like literally metal thong. Like her butt is like there's a tiny piece of metal between her butt cheeks. It was really weird and really awkward tone shift after the first game. So in this game you have, I mean, we haven't even seen the best of it yet. I mean, I'd say we're about 60, 65, 70% through the game. But you've already kind of grown to, well, I have at least, I don't know about you guys, grown to love and really appreciate the dialogue and interplay that Farah and the prince has. Start out as sort of as enemies, considering basically the prince's father captured a bunch of girls, including Farah, and they're like the only ones left alive. They're forced to fight together. They don't quite trust each other, but then there's something like between them, and you get to see a little bit about that. And you help each other, you work together, and they build like a bond. It's pretty cool. I mean, you start to care about Farah a lot. And then she kills you. Then she kills you. Okay, maybe not the best idea. At least I can rewind it. So, yeah, she literally didn't just kill all of us and doom us all. I mean, there's more stuff to come, and I don't specifically want to spoil this. But like, with the Warrior Within has nothing of the kind. There are different. It's a different female character in that game than just Shadi, the chick with the metal arm, but it's nowhere near as good. Two Thrones is really good. I mean, I'll probably talk a little bit more about Two Thrones later. I think it was a really worthy final part of the trilogy. But it's like just behind Sands of Time, I think. Oh, vision! Yeah, the mirror puzzle. I remember this. This is pretty cool. There's gonna be a nice change from endless wave of sand soldiers as well. Cool.
Done. I'll start the story from here next time.
Don't leave me. My love. Please don't leave me.
What did you call me?
It doesn't matter. The important thing is, I know how we can reach the Tower of Dawn.
Of course, the hourglass. All right. But this time, stay with me and pay attention. Can't spend all day chasing after you.
No, you're right, Prince. We can't.